Once upon a time, there was a gifted and versatile actress named Jean Simmons. She was born in 1929 in North London, the youngest of 4 children. Her father, Charles Simmons, was a former Olympic gymnast and a physical education teacher. During the Second World War, the Simmons family was evacuated to Winscombe in Somerset, and it was here that Jean's talent for performing first shone. She and her sister would entertain the local residents with their beautiful duets. Jean's acting career began in the post-war period in Britain, where she starred in a number of high-quality films. Her talent did not go unnoticed, and soon she was making a name for herself in Hollywood. She appeared alongside some of the biggest names in the business, including Laurence Olivier, Richard Burton, Marlon Brando, Kirk Douglas, and Burt Lancaster. Jean's performances were so exceptional that she was even nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Throughout her long and illustrious career, Jean never lost her love for performing, and her passion for acting inspired countless others to pursue their dreams. Jean Simmons will always be remembered as a talented and versatile actress who left an indelible mark on the world of film. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Jean who showed a talent for dancing. She attended the Ida Foster Theatre School in North London, where she honed her skills in dance and drama. Her beauty and ability were quickly noticed, and at the tender age of 14, she was chosen to appear in her first film, Give Us the Moon, alongside Margaret Lockwood. Jean's career took off from there, and she appeared in a number of British films in small roles, including Mr. Emmanuel in 1944 and Kiss the Bride Goodbye and Caesar and Cleopatra in 1945. However, it wasn't until her role as Estella in Great Expectations, directed by David Lean, that Jean really made a name for herself. The film opened doors for her, and she started to take her acting more seriously. Jean's star continued to rise, and she appeared in a string of highly regarded films, including Black Narcissus in 1946 with Deborah Kerr and Hamlet in 1948, in which she played Ophelia opposite Laurence Olivier's Hamlet. Despite never having seen or even read a Shakespeare play before, Jean's performance was unforgettable and earned her an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Jean was now a fully fledged movie star, and although Laurence Olivier suggested she study acting at the Bristol Old Vic Company, her studio, the Rank Organisation, would not allow it. And so, Jean's career continued to prosper, and she went on to become one of the most talented and versatile actresses of her time. Her beauty and ability inspired countless others to pursue their dreams, and her unforgettable performances will live on forever. In the year 1949, Jean starred in the film Adam and Eveline alongside her lover, the dashing British actor Stuart Granger. The two had met while working on Caesar and Cleopatra in 1945 and had fallen in love. Stuart was 16 years older than Jean and had been married before, but that didn't stop the two from tying the knot in 1950 in Tucson, Arizona. Their wedding was made possible by Howard Hughes, an eccentric billionaire who had recently purchased the RKO Hollywood studios. Jean was about to receive the full Hollywood treatment and was whisked away to the sunny state of Arizona to exchange vows with her love. After the wedding, Stuart signed with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and the couple moved to Hollywood. It was there that Jean discovered, to her surprise, that her contract with Rank had been sold to RKO, the studio owned by Howard Hughes. She described the experience as being sold like a piece of meat. Despite this setback, Jean and Stuart continued to work together, starring in several films and solidifying their place in Hollywood history as one of the industry's most beloved couples. Their love story, filled with adventure and drama, continues to inspire and captivate audiences to this day. Jean's relationship with Howard Hughes was a complicated one. The capricious tycoon, well known for his habit of seducing and discarding film actresses, took a personal interest in Jean. However, her husband, Stuart Granger, put Hughes in his place and made it clear that their relationship was off-limits. Hughes was not one to forget a slight, and when Jean refused to extend her contract with RKO, he blocked her from appearing in the 1951 film Roman Holiday. This role would later win an Oscar for Audrey Hepburn. Despite the challenges posed by Hughes, Jean fulfilled her contractual obligations with him, including the 1952 film Angel Face, in which she played a homicidal psychopath. When she declined to sign a second contract with RKO, Hughes made it clear that anyone who hired her would be sued. But Jean and Stuart were not to be deterred. In 1952, they took Hughes to court and won their case, freeing Jean from his influence and control. Jean's talent and resilience allowed her to overcome even the most difficult of challenges and forge a successful career in Hollywood. After successfully freeing herself from the clutches of Howard Hughes, Jean signed a non-exclusive contract with 20th Century Fox and her Hollywood career began to flourish. In 1953, she starred opposite her husband Stuart Granger in Young Bess. She then took on a significant role in the first CinemaScope feature film, The Robe, co-starring with Richard Burton. In 1955, Jean proved her versatility by co-starring in Guys and Dolls alongside Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra. In the film, she showcased her singing talent and comic timing. The couple's life in Hollywood was now well established, and they even became United States citizens in 1956. Jean's career continued to thrive, with notable performances in films such as The Big Country in 1958, and Elmer Gantry and Spartacus in 1960. Her talent and beauty made her one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses during this time. After her divorce from Stuart Granger in 1960, Jean married director Richard Brooks. This marked a shift in her career as she appeared on screen less frequently. In 1963, she starred in All the Way Home, but followed it up with some less successful films, such as Life at the Top in 1965 and Divorce American Style in 1967. Her final leading role in a movie was in The Happy Ending, which was written and directed by Brooks in 1969. This film earned her a second Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. As Jean's movie career slowed down, she shifted her focus to television and the stage. She performed in Stephen Sondheim's A Little Night Music for 3 years, touring America in 1974 and later performing in London where it played for 406 performances from April 1975. As Jean's film career slowed down, she began making regular appearances on television, appearing in various television movies and miniseries. In 1966, she made her debut on television in the series Theatre of Stars. She went on to have great success with the series The Thorn Birds in 1983, where she played a leading role. From 1985 to 1987, she played Clarissa Main in the popular series North and South. Throughout her career, Jean continued to showcase her talent on television. She played the character of Miss Havisham in the 1991 adaptation of Great Expectations. From 1994 to 1998, she lent her voice to the documentary series Mysteries of the Bible as the narrator. Despite her focus on television, Jean still made occasional returns to the big screen. In 1988, she appeared in The Dawning and had a prominent role in the all-star cast of How to Make an American Quilt in 1995. Jean faced a long-standing battle with alcohol addiction, a struggle she courageously spoke about in 1986. Her compassion for those struggling with similar issues led her to become the patron of Release, a UK-based charity that works to improve the lives of people affected by drugs and human rights. Her contributions to the film industry were recognised in 2003 when she was awarded an Order of the British Empire for her services. In the later years of her life, Jean found solace in Santa Monica, California, where she lived with her beloved pets, a dog and 2 cats. Sadly, she passed away on January 22, 2010, succumbing to lung cancer at the age of 80. Her final resting place is at the historic Highgate Cemetery in London. Farewell to the legendary actress, Jean Simmons. Her talent, compassion, and grace will always be remembered.